Hey there, Sanai Floyd here, business breakthrough coach, sales mentor, and alignment alchemist. And today I want to talk about a topic that is very, very dear to my heart. I'm sure it is very, very dear to yours as well as a coaching entrepreneur. And that topic is the topic of money. Now, I am in the very privileged position, and I do not take for granted how fortunate I am that I get to work with the most incredible and powerful coaching entrepreneurs. You know, people just like you who have these incredible gifts, skills, knowledge, wisdom, experience that transforms people's lives, transforms the lives of those people who are lucky to work with them, to be in their energy and in their power. And yet, there is this consistent theme, this consistent barrier and struggle, and that is the one around money. And one of my clients even said this week that for them, money feels like that final frontier. If they could just conquer this like consistent and persistent barrier and challenge around money. And this is such an important topic because, you know, we give so much of our power away to money. You know, we feel shame when we don't have it. We feel shame when we have too much of it. We feel fear around it running out. We feel fear of it never ever flowing back in again. You know, we accuse ourselves. We have that critical voice of, you know, that we're not managing our money well, or that we can't save, or we're shit with money, or we're in debt, or all these critical voices that come in and strips us of our ability, our innate core power to truly show up on behalf of our businesses, to be creative. You know, we're blocked when we're operating in survival, panic, fear, anxiety around money blocks us from creative genius, from inspired downloads, from fully showing up and serving at that high level. It blocks us from taking risks because as we're operating in survival around money, we start to close in on ourselves. So we no longer feel the courage to take those risks. And so we play small. Essentially, we play small. And we have all of these beliefs that really disempower us around money. And, you know, it was major for me. And, you know, I remember, and this was something that I was talking with somebody about recently, that money would come into my business, and then I would not be able to mobilize myself into taking action consistently because there was money in the bank. I could relax. And I just couldn't seem to get myself into gear until the money had drained back down to almost nothing, when then I would kick on again. So it was like all these patterns. So for many, and this is something I just want to add as well, for many coaching entrepreneurs, there's this other sort of element of shame that comes in, and the feeling of being out of integrity in their business. Because as coaching entrepreneurs, here we are showing up, sharing how we can help others. But if there's challenges in the background around money, very often we feel like, oh my God, I'm struggling, I can't help myself. And so there's this internal conflict, like how can I say I can help others when in the background I'm really struggling for myself? So again, this internal conflict causes us to always feel like we're playing small, we've got one foot on the brake, and that just creates so much frustration. So if you're feeling me on any of this, then please listen up, because this is really important. I want to share with you the biggest shift that you can make around money and start creating that abundance and that flow again. The biggest shift you can make is really understanding this concept that it's not the financial situation that you are looking at. It's not your bank balance. It's not the amount of debt you're in. It's not the client cancelling and you missing out on some payments there. It's none of that. Your financial situation that you are looking at is not creating how you feel about it. It's not. It's how you feel that is creating those situations. So let me give you an example. My biggest sort of money storm, my biggest money block story, if you like, was around debt. So I was 23 years I was in debt until 2018 when I shifted this and started to really dive into understanding money, and that transformed my life. So I was 23 years in debt, and I tried everything, every repayment strategy, every budgeting method. I would sell stuff on eBay. I'd work even harder. I'd do anything and everything to try and clear my debt, and nothing worked. And I had so much shame around my debt, so much crippling shame, to the point that I couldn't really look at it. I never created that kind of, spreadsheet with how much I owed fully. I just couldn't do it, because if I knew quite how much debt I was in, I just felt like I couldn't handle it. I could not handle the truth, knowing how much debt I was in, because of the amount of shame I had around it. And so I lived like that for many, many years, trying to clear it using effects, trying to clear it by doing stuff. But believing falsely that if I didn't have this shame, I wouldn't feel this way. If I didn't have the shame, if I didn't have the debt, I wouldn't feel the shame. But that's the mistake. The truth is that it was my shame and all the beliefs I had that was keeping that shame locked in that was creating the debt. Keeping the debt locked in. Let's call it a paradigm or a dominant frequency. So I always, no matter how happy I felt on the surface, there was an undercurrent going out, and it was like, picture this frequency going out under the surface, under my conscious awareness in a lot of the time. Under my conscious awareness that was keeping the debt locked in. So it affected how I showed up. It affected how I behaved around money. So because I had this locked in, I had an identity around it. So just to repeat that notion that it's never your financial situation that is causing your emotion, it's your emotion that's causing the financial situation. We need to go to cause. We need to clear the cause. So an exercise that I have my clients do to shift this state and really begin the process of reclaiming their power over money and their changing their financial situation is to consider how that situation is affecting their emotion, like how it makes them feel. So when you look at your financial situation, when you look at your bank statement, what is the dominant emotion that bubbles up straight away? Is it anxiety? Is it a feeling of panic? Is it a feeling of instability, insecurity? Do you feel, maybe, abandoned? So one thing I will add here, it needn't be a persistent, ongoing situation like my debt. Could be that you just have these situations that occur frequently enough for you to go, oh my God, this again. But the emotional reaction you have to that situation is always the same. So it's a very familiar feeling. So it could be something like, you get some money in the bank, but you always end up with a big unexpected bill that drains that money back out again. And that leaves you feeling perhaps angry or frustrated, or feeling, there's injustice or unfair. Or perhaps you always earn just enough to cover your essentials, but there's never ever a surplus. And so this keeps you riding a wave of anxiety. So really bring to your awareness, what is the dominant emotion, the dominant emotional reaction that is invoked by your financial situation. Because when you can bring that to awareness, you have the cause. So what do we do with that? Well, once you have identified the dominant emotion and you accept this notion that, oh my God, that's the cause of the financial situation. I always thought it was the other way around, but it's not. The emotion is causing. You can then work on the emotion, and the emotion is locked in place through your beliefs, what you believe. And through that emotion, that drives your behavior. So as soon as I started to clear my shame, I was able, it wasn't easy, but I was able then to gather all my statements together, create a spreadsheet and log how much money I owed, look at those numbers. Yes, it was painful in my chest, but I was starting to do different things because I was becoming a different person by changing my paradigm, by changing the program, which is my collection of thoughts, feelings, ideas, emotions around money. So powerful. So if this is resonating, I hope this has been helpful. It's just like perhaps made you think about how you're viewing your money situation a bit differently. But it's not about working harder. It's not about disciplining yourself to save more and trying that, because none of that will work until you go to the root cause, which is identifying how you think and feel around this situation, and then changing how you think and feel around the situation. So if this is resonating, or if you want more support around this, I am going to put a link below this video to my Paid in Full and Prospering Academy. Now, this contains the step-by-step that I went through in 2018 that cleared my debt. I had debt for 23 years, cleared it within six and a half months, and completely transformed my relationship to money. And I just experienced so much more joy. My business transformed. So everything changed when I made this switch. So I'm going to put the link below if you want to check that out. Please do. You'll get my support. You'll get the program. You'll be in a beautiful, supportive community. So yeah, I would love to see you in there. But in the meantime, have an incredible rest of your day. Thank you for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye for now.